Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Fazira binti Abdul Samad with metric number 1718870. So in this video, I'm going to share my key takeaways from the webinar session we had with Dr. Robert J. Thompson. I think the first key takeaway that I learned from the webinar is that the definition of the pacification. So what actually is pacification? So Dr. Robert J. Thompson, he mentioned during the webinar that he even wrote a specific chapter specifically for the definition of pacification. And he mentioned that pacification is a means to control the people in Fujian. And actually there are two definitions from the American side and also from the Fujian side. For the Fujian people, pacification is actually the struggle during the Vietnam War for them to gain the support for the government of South Vietnam. But for American pacification programs, they referred to by the phrase that winning hearts and minds of the South Vietnamese people. So now, what is actually pacification theoretically? So pacification is something that can be defined as the military, the political, economic and social process of establishing or re-establishing local government responsive to and involving the participation of the people. And pacification also includes the provision of sustained, credible territorial security, the underground government, the assertion or the reassertion of political control, and the involvement of the people in the government. And the initiation of economic and social activity capable of self-sustenance and expansion. So the American pacification, they actually want to combat or to fight the communism in Vietnam, and they hope to build a national political community in South Vietnam. So their main goal is actually to endorse an independent and sovereign South Vietnamese government. So what they did to establish this free communism in South Vietnam is that they guarantee the financial and social futures of the villagers. So the US Army and the American Civilians Agency, they play a critical role to combat the communism in South Vietnam or Fujian. So the pacification advisor, they provided technical, administrative and military support to the South Vietnamese village. But their attempt somehow not a success, because to merge the management of military and civilian agency under one unified command is not something easy. And this problem worsened because the South Vietnamese, they are very determined to preserve their independence. Yeah, that's it. And other factor is that there also lack of coordinated effort between two governmental bodies, and the mistrust that happened between the corrupt Vietnamese government and also the US military has weakened the effort. So the pacification discovered its roots between the 1950s and 1960s, at a time in history where the effort against insurgency in the third world attracted much attention. So defeating the insurgency required combating communism from all aspects of society, and these include the militarily, socially, economically, and also diplomatically. And in Vietnam, this meant attacking the issue from both military and civilian sectors, and not only and the civilian sector. The pacification is heavily influenced the economic development, the land reform issues, and also the political structure of the South Vietnamese. Okay, now let's move on to the second takeaway, that we is the lesson that we can learn from the pacification in Vietnam War. So we should highlight the difficulties in pacification for both countries, the Vietnam and also the United States during the Vietnam War, because it serves as a lesson, because there is a limit for American power to defeat the secret networks in Vietnam. Okay, first, there must be a unified structure that combines the military and the civilian pacification efforts. And in Vietnam, that organization was called CORD, CORDS, or it stands for Civil Operation and Rural Development Support. So it was formed in 1967, and it placed the disjointed and ineffective civilian pacification programs under the military. And the second lesson is that it involves the attacking the enemy's center of gravity. So an insurgency thrives only if it can maintain a permanent presence among the population, which in Vietnam was called the Viet Cong infrastructures, or the VCI. So this covert present use carrot and stick, promises of reform and threats of violence, so to take large control chunks of the countryside. I think that's all from me. Thank you.